Right, here's one I've been looking for a while, and I found it some time ago now. I've got the other record of the two records by Billie Richardson, West Country Humorist, the one that always eat the soft as I look over it is. It's West Country, English sort of rural accent type humour, and the title is that there ain't no flies on me. There ain't no flies on me, meaning there ain't no flies on me. There isn't any flies on me, in case you're wondering and you require a translation. By Richardson and Drake. Speed Set Me Out. This is the rare of the two records. It's not exactly rare, but it's a bit of a stinker to find. It turns up every now and again, but it took me quite some time to find this one. And I love that, as you probably know, accents and sea shanties and West Country things and farm stuff. I love all that sort of thing, so it's lovely to have this record, and it'll make you laugh. Have a listen.
I be a yoke of barn and bread, on that I be quite proud. For all the brain paint in the town, that tax must be allowed. And when I sit and think of all the funny things I hears, I laugh away so hearty like it almost brings the tears. If the flies be on the termites, yet there ain't no flies on we. Although folks think we're simple like and easy as can be. But when they tries to pull my leg, I grins and winks me eye. I know 20 shillings makes a pound, that's good enough for I. Ha ha! We be a smarties lot of chaps now down our village. You're I saw funny things other days now. Our old squire, he's had his sister staying with him. Her to live up in London. Thinks her to know it all. Well, I were down the Market Square other days now, and it were raining heavens hard. And there were she sat up in the old oxen trap, holding the umbrella over the end of the ox and getting wet through herself. Well, I says to her, that's a funny thing, ain't it? I says, holding the umbrella over the ox and getting wet through like that. Well, she said, it'd be like this year. Squire told I to know as how the ox would be all right, so long as I didn't let him have his head and didn't get the rain under his sail. Our old farmers now, he got all his hay in a short time ago, and he were afeard that the continued spell of fine weather had ruined his root crop. So he goes down to the parson in the village and asks if he'd mind praying for rain for him. Our parson said he didn't mind praying for rain, but let me see, he said, don't you go to that little church down the road? Yes, sir, he says, I do. Well, he says, why don't you go to your own parson and ask he to pray for rain? He says, get no good Easter. He ain't got all his eye in yet. No. They just put a new hut down our village, and they formed a bit of a club. And two of our chaps were talking about it. One of them said to the other, why don't he come down and join our club? Oh, I don't know, the other says, what do we do there? Well, he says, what plays games? Games? So they said, what sort of games do we play? Well, then we said we had a fine game t'other night, like. We got all the women and we stuck they up one end of that, and we got all the men and we stuck they up t'other end. And we tied a handkerchief all round the men's eyes, now, and they had to walk from one end of that to t'other. And the first woman as they grabbed hold on, they either had to dance with her, or if they didn't like her, they had to give her a bob. Well, he said, I don't see much in that. But then he said, well, so my wife went t'other night like, and she came home with 28 bob. If the flies be on the termites, yet there ain't no flies on we. Although folks think we're simple like and easy as can be. But when they tries to pull my leg, I grins and winks me eye. I know 20 shillings makes a pound, that's good.